another episode of Gracias Come Again. I know I like to say every episode is special, but this one, it just feels like it should have been happened, but this is the right moment. David Archuleta is here with us today. Listen, I'm going to give you all the applause as I can. I feel like you're part of our households, especially I feel like as Latinos, we just loved you. That name, it was just like, he's one of ours. Did you see him? Un Latino va a ganar. Like we were just really rooting for you, and you grew up before our eyes pretty much. And we've just loved you.
Thank you.
And now Devout is coming out. Losing My Faith to Find Myself. This is your memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. How excited are you today? Today is the day that the book drops.
It is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe it.
How do you feel about the whole world? We're going to get to see everything. I know that your sisters, they read like manuscripts. Did anybody else read it before it dropped and was like, this is it?
Well, my team did.
Okay.
And
outside of the team, like at home, just sisters?
I think so. Yeah, just my sisters. And I had, they're very involved in the book. There's a lot of like family dynamics and family drama.
That's why I asked,
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're going to write something like a memoir, it's not just about you when you have siblings.
Yeah.
They might be like, I don't want you to say this about mom, or I don't want you to say this about dad. And it's hard. It's a tough decision.
Yeah.
Did they back you?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They were supportive, and a lot of it was their lived experience as well, that they felt like they never were heard. Their side of the story was never heard because it was when we were kids when it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of times you think, oh, well, you're kids, like, just do what you're told, just be quiet and listen to the adults. And it doesn't really, I think a lot of times people look at kids as if they don't have their own opinion and feelings.
Always.
And I think that a lot of the point of Devout was actually we do. And we deserve to be heard, even if, as you grow up, it's like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It was when I was a kid.
It matters.
It still matters. And it's so healing when you allow the child a part of yourself that is still inside of you when you grow up to be seen and to be heard and to be consoled. So a big thing for me there's a lot that, like I said, that happened. But one of the bigger things why my oldest sister was so involved was there was some family trauma that happened, and my older sister dealt with sexual abuse, but she was never heard until we were writing this book. And she's older than me. She's in her 30s as well. And I just said, hey, Claudia, are you okay with me discussing this? Because I know it's and she said, please. And she gave me like her full story, and she's like, thank you, because I finally feel like I'm getting to be heard.
You gave her a voice.
Yeah. And I took that very like a serious responsibility.
You have to put on the white gloves for something like that. It's not your story to tell, and it involves sexual abuse. It was just a lot of intricacies that gotta handle it delicately.
Yeah. So for her, I saw how the way she was silenced, how that affected her growing up, that she also struggled with self-worth and feeling like she mattered. And so it was really nice to be able to reach out to my sister when she was 9-10 years old and be able to, it's interesting how sometimes it's like, well, what happened, it's in the past, is how I grew up a lot as well. It's like, well, what's done is done. It's in the past. Let's just forgive and forget. And we're together, and that's what matters. Pain that you still hold on to. And so even though it's like we're adults, and so it's able to like step back and say, to see my sister, how we both healed by talking about what our childhood and how it helps us to be better adults and to kind of mature into a more beautiful version of ourselves as we continue on with our lives.
And with siblings, we have this beautiful gift that they're the only people that really understand what went on within our home at that age as children. If anybody's going to relate to you or understand you or even vouch for what you're saying, because, sometimes even adults tend to question what we experienced as children. And sometimes it's in their own interest. No, that never happened. Oh, sí, eso sí pasó.
Así es.
And I'm so happy, that you're writing your book, and that it's going to give a lot of us, whether we experienced trauma or whether we experienced abuse or whether we just weren't able to be our authentic self because of our parents, because sometimes it's not even only about our sexuality. Sometimes it's about our personality. It's about, what we want to do in life, that our parents and, sometimes Latino parents tend to really try to oppress who we are. And your book is going to help so many different areas, not just what you experience, but it's just like the way I'm interpreting it is just like, yo, same thing we went through, the same thing this person went through. And he was a male, I was a female. It's going to help a lot of us, and it's dope. And I love you for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, honey.
Thank you for your vulnerability, that it's going to help people everywhere, all over the world, not just your fans, but people that are going to seek a book to help them like this. They're like, I want self-acceptance. I want to accept who I am.
You know who's really helped me? When you were talking about that, there was a... I'm going to see if I can find it. Ay, ¿por qué me está diciendo que I'm not driving? What? Yeah,
your phone is like, listen, put the phone down. Like, you're doing 90 miles per hour right now.
It's like,
these phones.
You're driving, put your phone away. I'm like, I'm not driving. I guess estoy manejando esta conversación, pero...
I love your Spanish.
Oh my gosh. I'm very like Spanglish because it's like my Spanish isn't perfect. Okay, it's Nomas Naum. Have you heard of... he's on Instagram and on TikTok. Nomas Naum is his name. Masnahum. And I love following him because he talks a lot about growing up in the Latin culture and a lot of like the traditions. And he'll talk about like the fun things about it, but then he'll also like suddenly switch to a very deep thing that
and it could get deep.
Is never discussed in the Latin culture because it's like, you're not supposed to talk about that. And he goes there and he's always like, when you deal with this, like talking about your feelings or like man up or like masculinity or like therapy, like all these things that are have been taboo a lot of times in our culture, and he'll go there, and so many people from like the upcoming generation of Latinos will be like, oh my gosh, like thank you, like I relate to that, but no one has ever said that before out loud. And he says a lot of the things out loud that a lot of people need to hear, and is very healing. So I've loved following his page. So you were just saying some things that reminded me of his page.
And thanks for sharing, because I love that type of content. It's just like we experienced a lot of similarities, whether you're a Mexicano, Hondureño, Dominicano, Puerto Riqueño, a lot of our Latin parents, especially our fathers, machistas, what I'm saying? Our mothers, let's just make believe it's not happening. A lot of different things, but we share a lot of similarities. Latinos straight across the board. How is mom feeling about the book?
Mom has had a hard time with it because
I can imagine.
A lot of it is about her. I mean, I talk about her relationship with my dad. They're divorced now. My mom is remarried, but I talk about the hard things about her marriage, and then also about the hard dynamic with her family and her close circle of people around her family. And she was just like, David, why do you have to why do you feel like you need to talk about this? Can't you tell your story without getting into our family stuff, because we've moved on from this? And that's where I was like, Mom, I know that you've moved on from it, but I haven't. This is my story and this affects me. I mean, I have moved on, but my story is not complete if I don't tell this part, because there's a lot of stuff that happened behind your back that you didn't know about. And I noticed some of the things about the culture that I feel need to be discussed, because there was some, like with my mom, with my sister's sexual abuse, the abuser was a family member. And I feel like that happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
And the abuser is defended.
Protected.
Protected and defended more than the victim.
Always. Listen, and I feel emotional because it's something that someone close to me experienced, and it was her cousin. And they protected him, her mom, his mom. They were sisters. And she still experiences so much trauma. And he's still around. And I'm like, how do you do this? And it makes me so emotional, because I'm like, this is your fucking abuser. Yeah. And he is here. And her mom and her sister are like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not fucking normal.
No.
I'm sorry. It's not.
And I feel that's where I was like, accountability needs to be held
Please
for those
and thank
people.
you.
Yeah, of course, like on behalf of my sister and other sisters and people, cousins, mother. Like, I feel like a lot of times we let the men, because we're so proud of the men and their hard work that they put into taking care of the family and stuff, we excuse a lot of their
Lock him up.
abuse. And for me, it was with my sister, it was my step grandpa, and I saw how I just saw and I identified why. I saw it elsewhere too, and I was just like, why do we keep letting this happen? Because it was like that's why it was so important for me to talk about it in the book. And so I was like, Mom, I get that this is something that's hard for you to talk about, but I'm giving my sister a chance to be heard, something that she didn't get a chance all her life, especially when she was a little girl. So I'm hoping that, like No Mas Naum is doing with his Instagram, just continuing to have the conversations that a lot of people haven't been able to have, and give people permission to change the tradition so that we can be there for each other better. Be how do you say it? Be there for each other in a better way, in a more
100%.
complete way.
And protect our children. How about that? How about we start there, David? How about we just protect our kids? I don't care if it's abuelo, step abuelo. We locking your ass up. We're not playing these games with these kids. Don't play with me. Don't not play with me.
Yeah.
And I understand, like Mom wants to protect her dad or her brother. I don't care. I'll lock your ass up too, because this is a child. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
I thank you so much, for touching these topics, and for your bravery. Deciding to, this is who I am. And if my, church, my religion, whoever it is doesn't accept who I am, then I've got to walk away from you. And for a lot of people, it's difficult. And your bravery, you're making me brave. I want to leave some shit I'm not even a part of.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, well, I hope that like for people to feel like they have a voice when they weren't given it, or it was taken away from them. That's especially for women. I feel like having 3 sisters and my mom, like I've always, and I guess like I think also that's a gift I've seen in being queer and a queer man is, I think that there is more sensitivity to the women and seeing the power in the femininity, and that it should be honored more. The matriarchs of the family should be honored more, as well as just the little girls, to protect them. Because, oh my God, there's just, and I hear it all the time, like from so many of my friends, the same thing. Like I always hear of a sibling or a friend or a brother, like young people who are, like, if there's sexual abuse, child abuse that is happening, people don't want to talk about it. Even if they notice something is going on that shouldn't be, they just feel like we're not supposed to talk about it. So they would rather let it keep happening than to acknowledge it. That narrative needs to change. It really needs to change.
It does, because it's disgusting. It's like you'd rather the family not be tarnished with these accusations or with this truth coming out, but you'd rather a child continue to be abused and traumatized just para que la familia no se vea mal porque el tío estaba tocando al niño. No, a mí no me importa. Vamos, sorry, tío. You're pervert. We're going to out you. We're going to put it on Facebook. We're like, tío's no longer part of the family because he was touching the kids. What's wrong with that? Come on.
It's tricky because it's like familia es todo.
Claro que sí, lo es. Pero si hay una persona en la familia que está abusando a los niños, hay que salir de él. I'm sorry, tío. You're not part of the family no more.
And that's what I learned was when it's so hard when it's like, but how do we keep our family together? Like, if we talk about these things, our family could fall apart.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to reconsider. It's like, what does it mean to have the family together, and what does it mean to have the family falling apart? Because it may look good, and like, yeah, you can be celebrating at the family gatherings, but there's the pain and there's like the destruction inside too, and mentally and emotionally. And so, like, how can we heal that? How can we heal the inside, the parts that you don't see on the outside at the family get together and the asada, there was when I started talking about these things in my family in the book, it was hard. My mom had a very hard time with it, and some of the other family members and the circle of people like family friends, I confronted some of them, and there's some people that I had to adjust my relationships, and it changed the family dynamics. My mom, and it terrified my mom because it is the culture where she was just like, what are the family gatherings going to look like? Are we going to even have them anymore? But my mom was just like, you know what? She said, like, I'm so sorry that I wasn't there for you as kids. And she cries because I think it took her a while to find the courage, especially as a woman, to stand up and say, I'm going to choose my children, finally. And it's been hard for her. She has to call, and I'm so proud of my mom because I feel like she's the first one from her generation of the family to say, I'm going to have these hard conversations and I'm going to set boundaries.
Good.
And it's hard because she's like, I feel like I'm losing some of my family members because of it. But she's like, but in the end, I would rather support my children and let them be seen. Even though she's like, and she'll cry. She's like, I'm sorry that it's taken me until you are adults for me to do this and find the strength. She's like, but I hope you can forgive me. And I hope you know that I'm here for you in your corner now. And it's difficult when it's generations of that happening. It's probably been maybe hundreds of years that it's been the culture, you know. But I think it's always important to challenge the culture. And for me, it was that with the family dynamics and being willing to set boundaries when you need them to protect, you know, for my sisters, for example. Or like in religion, it was hard for me to break the tradition of marriage is a man and a woman, and that is what love is, and you need to, and anything else is an abomination before God. And I had to be okay with saying, you know what, I know that is the tradition, but I had an answer that I talk about in my book as well, where it's like, I tried to get married 3 times.
You were engaged 3 times,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where are these fiancés?
Oh
Do
my
you still speak to
gosh.
them, or are they just not part of your life anymore?
Ay.
I wonder what they think.
You know, it varies. There's some that
Some. I love the way you
oh my gosh.
It's all good. You know, shit happens. But
Some I have a better relationship with, and others I think, you know, I was in a hurt place and I didn't know how to explain the situation. And, you know, when you end a relationship that you think is supposed to last forever, it can break people, can hurt them. And I still feel guilt and I feel sad because I did my best because I thought I need to do this because it's what God wants for me. And then you realize, you know what, I need to take time to figure out who I am. And you hurt people when you're hurt, you hurt people. And, you know, it's like I may not be able to ever change or fix what I did in that past of making someone feel like it was their fault that the relationship ended. And I hope that they know. I think at this point they do know.
can I say something?
Yeah.
They know it wasn't their fault. They know now that the book
I
is
hope
here.
so.
Now that you're out,
so.
you know, I know this was. You are not gonna make me feel like this was my fault. You know what I'm saying? So I can tell you, I can assure you, as a female, it's just like, okay, now it all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he was trying to do what's right. Yeah, he was trying to do, you know, what the Bible tells us to do.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would much rather things end as opposed to you, let's say, marrying me, having kids, and then having a double life, our whole life.
Exactly.
Then it's really your fault.
That's what I realized. Because I thought, and I was taught as well, because I identify as bisexual now, like a spectrum. I'm still mostly say I date men and I'm attracted to men.
But we're just so beautiful that you can't help yourself sometimes, right?
I know. So women are just.
You're like, this is a bad bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when, anyway, no.
Okay.
When
I
she knows how
digress.
to yeah, when she knows what she wants and she like, I don't know. There's something very I
don't know why I'm thinking of Kehlani right now, but I feel like we're all in love with Kehlani, right?
Oh my God.
Such a badass, that body.
Come pick up your clothes, I have them folded. Leave me at the door while it's still open.
Shit, I want to marry her.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, but even her partner, K1, oh my God.
Everybody.
Woo!
One big family, come on.
But what was I saying? What were you saying?
We were talking about dating men or sometimes dating women. Depends how attractive we are.
When I was talking to my church leaders, because I grew up Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints.
Mormón.
Mormones, sí, así es el apodo, pero ya están dejando
Ya no se usa esa palabra.
Apodo, y
Okay.
no quieren usar esa palabra, pero así es como todos se conocen a los mormones. But yeah, Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints
I
because it's so long.
Yeah.
But because they want to let people know that they do believe it's that they follow Jesus Christ, and like Mormon distrae de eso. Pero
I blame Dominicans for me using that term.
no, I mean they used to say it like when I grew up in it. It was like Mormon. They had a whole campaign that was like I'm a Mormon, and now they're like we don't want to use that anymore. But so I try to respect it. Like I'm trying to respect when people when they want to identify with a different. I try to respect that.
You tell me your label and I'll use it, right?
Exactly. So I'm like, just we hope to reciprocate that. Like I hope that you reciprocate it as well when others want to be identified with how they identify. But let me think. What was I saying? Oh, so I was talking to the church leaders, and I was like, I think I'm gay. I think I might be gay, and they're like, you're not gay. You just struggle with same-sex attraction. And if you identify as gay, that's a sin because you are accepting it. But if you say it's same-sex attraction, you're just acknowledging that it's a challenge that you deal with and they're feelings that you have, but you can still overcome them and you're still clean if you use it that. But they're like, but you're not gay. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not. But
did that create more confusion for you?
It did. And in my when I was getting engaged and stuff, that was the counsel that they gave me as well. And a lot of queer people in church get that counsel too. It's like if you get married and have faith, God will bless you to heal from that same-sex attraction.
Kind of like pray the gay away?
Yeah.
We're not doing that. I is gay.
I mean, we were praying. Wait, what? God is. Did you say wait what?
No. I said I is gay.
Oh, you just. Oh.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you're not gonna tell me what I am and what I am not. You know.
Well, even it made me even struggle with the term like being okay with bisexuality because I thought I had to get rid of any feelings for the same sex in order to be worthy of committing my life to someone. And when I saw I was getting engaged, almost married to planning the wedding even, and seeing that I still had feelings, that I could have feelings for guys, I was just like, I'm broken and there's something wrong with me. And so you start panicking because it's like, why is this not working? And I think the last time I was engaged, I went to see a friend. I talk about it in Devout, but there was a friend that I visited and she was in a relationship with someone who she had lots of kids with and had was married to her husband for like 20 years or something. And she found out that he was, his scenario was different, but she found out that he was living a double life and she tried to confront him about it. And he got so angry because it's like all this built up suppressed feelings and emotions that he had and that he felt he needed to keep a secret burst out, and he started lashing out on her.
Of course, now he's mad.
And when I heard that, I was engaged my third time and I was just like, that is horrible that happened to her. And I can't believe this happened to my friend. Like, I love her so much. And I was like, I relate so much to her ex. I feel that anger and that suppressed emotions and that bitterness bubbling inside of me. And I just know that I could explode if I don't let this, if I don't let this come forward and process these emotions. And I don't want to be that. I do not want to be the story where I end up being the abusive partner. I don't want that. I wouldn't want that for someone I love. And I need to process these emotions. And I think that was like a big awakening for me. I'm like, I need to end this relationship. And it's heartbreaking because you think you're going to share your life with this person and you're supposed to love them enough to work through anything. But I just realized I'm like, I need to be honest with myself fully. And so it was hard. It was hard for her, but I feel like she's an angel that was sent to me because she was patient with me. She communicated. When I came out, she just said, thank you for your bravery. I will try to follow and be brave like you are too in my own ways of life. And, to this day, I still am keep in touch with her. But I hope she, I think she understood too that it's like it wasn't her fault.
You did the right thing.
It was, but it's like I think the churches need to stop giving that guidance to queer people, saying, "Oh, well, God will fix you if you get married." It's like, no, like that's what I realized. I'm like, these girls deserve to be loved. They deserve to be adored. And in my book, I would think about my first engagement, because she used to say, yo estoy acostumbrado a sentirme like adorada.
She was a Latina?
Querida. Yeah, she was Mexicana.
Of course she wanted to be adored.
And she's like, se siente tan frío contigo.
Oh, la conexión estaba como
Sí.
fría.
And I was like, really? Why? I'm like, I'm doing everything I think I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm buying you flowers, but I knew what she was I knew what it was. I felt like I can't admit that, because I was just so afraid that if I let my emotions out, that then I would have to. I knew that I was gonna. I don't know. I knew it was connected to feelings for guys too, and I was just trying to never ever feel those feelings, and I felt like if I allowed myself to feel more intimate with her, that I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I just remember her saying this, like, you're so cold, like, and I'm used to feeling loved.
She wanted more chispa.
Yeah,
like, give me a little more passion.
And I'm like,
but
she
you
deserves
were struggling.
that.
You were struggling. Though.
She deserves that, and so I was like, why would I take that away from someone I'm supposed to love? She deserves to be loved. She's a wonderful person, and I felt like all the girls I met, I was just like, they're wonderful people. So yeah, I feel like it's
listen,
it's a couple. It's
listen,
in the book.
All those engagements had to happen for you to be here where you are now. You know, fully living in your true self. You know, and we have to blame the church. It's just like, you're young. Your mind is impressionable. You're listening to, people that are guiding you. Your leaders, your church. This is who you trust. This is where you grew up. So it's like these adults were doing, a disservice. And I understand this is their book. This is what they follow. But y'all screwing us all over. And
so near the end of my book, I get into conversations I had with my church leaders, like some of the worldwide church leaders of
you took it to the top.
Church.
David said, I need to talk to the boss of the bosses.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I was close with them. Like,
I don't blame you.
They kind of used me as like this symbol, like of the church, like representative, like a poster boy. And I was happy to do it because I believed wholeheartedly. I was like, I want to serve God. I want to serve my community and God's church. Mm-hmm. And when I finally came to a point of coming out, I was just like, you know what? Because I was just like, well, if this is really evil, like, I don't want to be evil, but I don't know what else to do. And so I was just like, maybe I don't deserve to be here, So I contemplated just like cutting it short. But there's a moment I had in prayer where I felt with God, I was just like, God, please, if you really are there and if you really have a plan for me, please change me. And because I was like, I'm so exhausted.
You're gonna make me cry. It's just like, bro, like we shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, I agree. Now I agree, and I see it differently now. And what I felt in that prayer was God say, David, stop asking me this. Because you've been asking me, you've been praying about this since you were 12 years old. You're 30 now. You can see that I'm not going to change you because there's nothing to change.
He created you this way.
Yeah. And you keep asking me to change you when I don't see you the way other people see you. And it's time for you to understand that. And
You're a work of art to God.
But I was like, this is not what I was taught in church. This was not what I was taught in your house. And he was like, they are well-meaning, but they do not see my creations the same way I do. And so he's like, you need to allow yourself to live the way I created you, because there's beauty that I see in that and in those relationships that you can have. So when I got that answer, and I was just like, oh, like if I talk to my church leaders and let them know, then if they're people who want to follow God too, I just figured like, I just need to share that with them, like what I learned from God. And I realized how scared they were of the topic. They're just like, like you're talking about something we don't want to talk about. But I was just like, I'm just trying to let you know what God told me.
You were like, listen, I met with the big boss.
Yeah. And this church leader's saying, he's like, you know what? I've never spoken to someone who's gay this in depth before. And I was like, well, you're making so many decisions on behalf of people like me, as if you did know. And I was like, so I was just saying, like, this is the answer I got, and this is what I feel. And he was just so confused, because he's like, and then he like visited with me again. He's like, well, let me know what you find out, because we were close. He was like my grandpa. He treated me like his grandson. I sang at his wife's funeral. Like, he held my hands when they were dedicating her grave, like, the prayer over it.
The closeness was there.
And we were close. And so I came back, and he's like, how's it going? He's like, well, I'm dating men. And it's like, and he was just like, you're still a child of God. Like I am.
Of course you are. Mm-hmm.
And he said it like so like surprised. He's like, you still have the light of Christ in you. And I was like, did you think that because I would start dating men that I would become evil and bad and dark? I'm like, I hope you see that I'm still who I am. Like, I'm still the person you've known, that you treat like a grandson. And that he was so confused by that, because he's like, wait, but this is not what I thought it was. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to show you. Like, I'm trying to show you that we're God's children, and we're created in God's image. We may not all be the exact same, but just because there's one thing that's different about me from you we have more in common than what we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's diversity in God's creations. And he was trying to help me, convince me to start, being straight, to be straight by saying, well, when I met my wife, and like, I found the greatest joy I ever had in my life. And I mean, again, this is all stuff I talk
listen,
about
sir, that's great for you, but that's not the life I want, right?
Yeah. I said the greatest joy that he was like, I felt this feeling, and I just knew that I needed to pursue her. And I was like, I love hearing this story, how you met your wife. That feeling that helped you find your greatest joy. Mm-hmm. You're telling me I have to consider evil. And, how do I make sense of that? And, if you're telling me to trust in God and what God has guided me to do, I'm just trying to let you know what God has guided me to do. And we're made differently. So our personal relationship and how we live our life is going to be, it's not going to look the exact same. So I think he looks like, but your life doesn't look the same as mine. Your love doesn't look the same as mine. How different is scary. And I'm trying to show with this book that different doesn't have to be scary. And
thank you.
There's still a wholesome love that can exist in the same-sex relationships. And he's like, well, don't you want to have kids? I was like, I have gay friends who are married, and they have kids.
A bunch of them.
There's science now that works. He's like, but what about your own posterity? I'm like, there's science for that if I wanted to pursue that, I could have that.
You're like, don't worry about my children's situation. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right?
if that's what's right for me,
yeah.
I can make that happen. I have, my friend Lance Bass and his husband, Michael, they have twins, one from each of them.
There you go.
They had a carrier, and, it may not always look the same, but, I feel like, our understanding has evolved that what a family can look like. And, if that's what someone wants, sometimes people don't feel like it's right for them to have kids. Anyway, that's like a lot of the things I try to explain to help people understand, like, it may look different, but, I've never, like Ken, my publicist here, like I was always told that gay people can't be happy, and that gay people only wanted sex. That's all they wanted. When they wanted to come out with their sexuality, it's because they want to be sex perverted people. And so long relationships don't last because they only care about sex. They don't really care about each other. And then Ken, my publicist I'm with, he's been with his husband for over 30 years.
Listen, my
And
mind,
so, like,
my mind is so blown. I'm a born and raised New Yorker, so to me, everything you're saying is like, who are these people and where are they saying these things?
it's
like,
the Utah bubble.
is
I
that
guess,
what it is?
the
I'm like,
Utah
bro,
bubble.
listen,
Yeah.
we understand the concept here. The gays run everything. The gays have the best relationships. They run Broadway. Don't play no
Oh my
games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gosh, yeah.
we understand their love is solid. The weddings, they be like, they be together 20, 30, 40 years. Shit that,
Yeah.
you know, straight people are not out here doing. The gays here in New York have been doing. So I'm like, I'm listening to you and I'm like, where is this happening and who is saying all this crazy shit?
I guess, I didn't realize how crazy it is sometimes until you say it out loud.
Yeah, when you move in different spaces, you know, it's just like here in New York, it's just shit is normal. You know, it's gay pride. You know, we have the Ville. Like we just grew up as kids. Like, okay, another gay couple. Like to us, it was just so normal, and it was never, you know, demonized or anything like that. It was just that I'm listening to you and I'm like, wow, people really have these thoughts and like these convictions.
Well, I was taught, what I was taught in church in Utah, at least, was
Utah is different.
There are some really serious things that I think it's because they weren't exposed to it, because
That's probably why.
they didn't have any other gay people really around to show them that, like they can be happy. Because if someone started talking about coming out, they were usually pushed out. They were usually excommunicated from the church, disfellowshipped. So I think it was scary. So they never heard the outcome of these people, that they weren't these scary people. And the narrative that I was fed up until I came out, like I didn't know about PrEP. So I understood
The
that
medication?
the medication to prevent the spread of HIV/AIDS. And even if you have HIV/AIDS, you can live a full, healthy life, even
all
with
the way
it.
to the end. Yeah.
But I was taught that it was HIV/AIDS was God's curse to show that he wanted gay people gone, and that it was his way of showing that like so many people died from it. And I was taught in my culture that was God's way of showing that he didn't want gay people here, and that they were choosing a sinful life, and that was his punishment. It wasn't until I came out that I learned that there's PrEP medicine.
I'm so glad you broke free. You don't understand right now. I'm like, thank you, hallelujah, God, for letting him be free and, you know, see life the way, you know, it truly is, and the way, you know, the rest of us have experienced it, you know, in cultures and, you know, cities like New York, where it's just like, we're just all one.
Start spreading the news.
Exactly.
I want to be a part of it.
You're a musical kid, ain't you? You love musicals?
I do. That was the first thing that I learned. That's how I got into music. My dad loved musicals, and he showed me. His mom was in musicals as well. She was a theater performer. I never met her because she died when she was 41. But I always heard how much she loved theater, and so my dad played me a tape of Les Miserables when I was like 6 years old.
Les Mis, okay. That's a good place to start.
Yeah. And
were you interested?
Oh, I was obsessed.
Okay, because I'm like, I saw it as an adult, and I was like, what is this?
Oh, really? Oh, I loved it. I loved the melodies. I loved the passion in the performer's eyes. It was just like, wow. But it was, I was always afraid to be in musicals because I was afraid of acting.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Listen, David, it's a lot. You're acting, you're singing, you're dancing. I've seen.
What about you? Are you musical? Have you?
No, I just go watch all the musicals.
Oh, okay.
I am obsessed with Broadway. Well, look where we're at. We're like right around the corner, and I go, and every single time I'm mesmerized. I'm like, how did this person remember all this?
Yeah.
How did they learn the dance and the singing and the acting? Listen,
they're so talented.
They are. Out of all performers, I feel like Broadway stars, top tier.
They are, and they're so underappreciated too. I feel like the amount of talent that they have is just, I mean, not underappreciated, but there's just so many that are so good.
Well, they're amazing,
and people don't realize what they're doing is so.
Because no disrespect, you know, you could sing. If you're singing, you're cool, but then you got to break out into a dance. Then you got to break out into some acting. That's not for everybody.
No. I suck at acting.
That's for the best of the best.
I like to try, but I still suck at it. But and dancing, like, I mean, ¿a ti te gusta bailar?
A mí me gusta bailar. Un merenguito, una salsa, una bachatita, whatever it is.
I would love to know, like, where to go. Like, where do you go to dance?
New York has changed so much. Like right now, I feel like it's a lot of outdoor stuff. Like in the summer, we have a lot of, you know, outdoor stuff. Like here, like in the wintertime, we're getting a pacha. You know the pacha in Ibiza?
No.
We're going to get one in Brooklyn.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a
Whoa,
huge.
Wait, tell me about it. Tell
Yeah,
me
like
about
David Guetta, like
Oh my
those guys,
God.
they play there. Black Coffee, but supposedly we're gonna get one in
So like
Brooklyn.
EDM.
This
Oh my
summer we're
gosh.
supposed to be. You gotta come back. You gotta come back because it's supposed to be a movie.
I'm such a raver. I'm
Oh,
such
you
a
are?
raver. So I'm going to EDC Mexico this weekend.
Oh, okay.
And like I have a day off. It's going because I have a couple of friends who are Latin house DJs, and I'm going to support them. They invited me to go. I was
That's
like,
where the money is.
It's 2 days, but I was like, I can go only for one day because I'm on a book tour.
I know.
But I'm going and I just love it. It's like my new community because I grew up in church and I loved the community there, but now that I'm not in it, it's like I would still love to feel connected to community. And when you go to raves and like EDM festivals, like there's like signs. I remember going in and I just saw it said everyone is welcome here.
Amen.
And I felt that, like, because I used to go to the church, like in like the Latter-day Saint churches, Mormon churches, and it would say all visitors are welcome. But but at the same time, there's an expectation that you're supposed to change. Like, well, you come as you are, but we expect you to change and become like everyone else here. Whereas at the raves, it's like you come as you are and we celebrate you.
You wear what you want.
Yeah, wear what
you want to wear wings. You
Yeah,
wanna wear,
wings. Yeah,
whatever
I went as Ash Ketchum one time for Halloween. Like
that's so dope. I was when I interview people, I go down a rabbit hole and I just watch videos and videos and videos. And the video that stuck out to me the most was you at the Alma Awards 2009.
Oh my gosh,
singing Contigo en la Distancia. I'm like.
Yeah.
This song. I'm like, Jose Feliciano has sang this song. Luis Miguel has sang this song. Placido Domingo has. Andrea Bocelli. I'm like, what possessed this kid to pick this song? So I need the backstory. Who picked that song for you?
So I was introduced to it from Cristina Aguilera.
Okay, yeah. She also covered it too.
Spanish album. Yeah, and she did an amazing.
This song's been around since 1924. That's the reason why I mentioned all these greats.
It's with the
Luis Miguel is my favorite.
One of the earlier singers I remember hearing is what is it?
The original. I don't remember his name.
Oh, shoot,
it's 1924. I wasn't born yet.
Man, it is such a beautiful
That song
classic.
is so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Did you learn Spanish first, or did you learn how to sing in Spanish first?
I learned how to. You know what? I learned Spanish first because I was born in Miami.
Okay.
But then I forgot it because when we moved to Utah, everyone was kind of upset that we would speak Spanish.
Everyone who? Your other family members?
I think so.
Okay.
Like, because they're like, why did they speak Spanish? Like, we don't understand when they're talking and stuff.
It's so that you don't understand that we're speaking it.
My parents, so they just started focusing on the English, but they forgot to keep the Spanish up. So we forgot our Spanish. And it wasn't until I went on a mission. I was a Mormon missionary.
I saw that.
In Chile. And that's where I learned Spanish more. So it's
how many years were you in Chile?
I was there for 2 years.
2 años en Chile. You better learn Spanish.
Yeah, pero es diferente allá.
Yeah, los acentos son diferentes en cada región. Like, sí, en España, en Chile, en Guatemala, donde sea. But you were one of those. I know exactly who you were. I remember they were in Dominican Republic, and I was like, ahí vienen los mormones. And they were so cute. I remember they were always like white boys. They had the white shirt and the bike, and I'm like, oh, these Mormons is fine.
Oh my god!
You want to preach? I was a hot ass since I was young. But now that's dope. So you went to Chile and you perfected your español?
I wouldn't say I perfected it, but I feel like, I
A mí me gusta, tu español está bien.
Ay, gracias.
Me gusta. Y el acento está bonito.
Ay, gracias.
Muy suave.
Muchas gracias.
It doesn't sound aggressive like our Dominican acento sometimes can be. We always sound like we're fighting.
Yeah, oh my gosh. But I love it. It's like, it's just got so much character to it.
It does. My husband always be like, why you always sound like you're arguing? I'm like, we're not arguing. We're just communicating.
Where's your husband from?
He's Puerto Rican, but he's more
Puerto
like
Rican.
a quiet type.
Gotcha,
And us Dominican, we could be very loud.
Yeah,
very, very loud. But singing in Spanish, how does that feel for you? Does it feel genuine? Does it feel...
It feels like another part of your soul opens.
Right?
For me. Because one of the first people that my mom introduced me to learning... Because my dad introduced me to Les Miserables. Mm-hmm. And then the very next thing that my mom introduced me to... Because when they started saying that I like to sing... It was like I learned Castle on a Cloud from Les Miserables.
Okay.
And then the second song after that was my mom taught me Como la Flor.
Oh my God, stop!
Selena Quintanilla. She was a big Selena fan. Selena y los Dinos. And
you want to give me a little bit? Please, just the beginning. I love that
Yo
song.
sé que tienes un nuevo amor Sin embargo, te deseo lo mejor. I'll skip.
That's
Como la flor
con tanto amor
me diste tú.
se
marchitó.
Please,
Me marcho hoy. Yo sé perder. Pero, ay, cómo me duele.
Yes! Stop. We can
I
end
love
right
that
here because I
song.
feel so complete right now. You know, Selena is just one of our icons, one of
She
our
is.
divas. You know,
She is.
gone so soon, but the way her legacy and, you know, her music lives on till today tells you how important music is and how we connect through music, through words, through melody. And, you know, crush. What emotions? What emotions? I know, like, what emotions does crush? When you think of crush, what does it make you feel?
It brings me nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it's like a part of my. It's a part of my. What is that called? My fabric of who I am now, because it is a song that has connected so many people to me that I'm so grateful for.
Multi-platinum.
Yeah, it's
Eesh, that's
and
big.
it's lived on. And you know what's interesting about that? When I recorded a Spanish version, but the label that I was with at the time never wanted to release it, and I'm not sure they felt like it didn't make sense, and they wanted to focus and put the budget into other parts of my career, and I just kind of I was 17, so I was just like,
You're
well, I mean, I already recorded it, and they're like, you know, we just don't feel like it's the right thing for you. And for me, I was like, well, okay, well.
You're like, whatever.
But I'm Hispanic. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud to have a mom from una mama catracha from Honduras, and she was an immigrant. She immigrated from Honduras when she was a teenager to here, and so for me, I was like so excited to connect, because like even if I didn't speak it 100%, like the culture, like it was always a part of like the family gatherings and the celebrations, and you just. Another part of my fabric, but so I'm always sad. Like it was one of my regrets to not push to see if there was a way of getting that song, but it's not too late either.
But
I would
listen,
love to
we just
release a Spanish version.
We just talk about Contigo en la Distancia, how this song has been released how many times by how many different people since 1924. Listen, we just getting started,
right.
And you know, with Bad Bunny and everything that's happening right now, they love us even more.
You're right.
Why not? Everybody who loved Crush in English is going to love Crush in Spanish.
I hope so.
Claro que sí.
I need to do
Listen,
it. Okay, you're giving me the.
Ponte pa lo tuyo. Listen, re-record it, and now it's gonna be yours. I don't know how that works with the music industry, but if we record it, it's ours, right?
I mean, I recorded it when I was signed to a record label, so they own the recording of Crush. Oh. So sadly, like I don't make money on the recording.
Oh,
but you know.
But if we do it in Spanish.
En español, sí.
Oh, vamos.
Yeah.
Vamos
nomás.
Te busco un estudio ahí mismo. I don't care. We're in New York. There's probably a studio up the block. We gonna record Crush right now in Spanish.
Vamos nomás.
No. We gotta focus on Devout.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know,
Devout
right?
the book, yeah.
Okay, you have a book. You have an event tonight in New York.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh
Correct.
my gosh, I need it. Yeah. We're good.
Book is out. Audio book. I saw that you recorded it.
Yeah. I did an audiobook of it.
Thank you for using your own voice. I hate when people don't narrate the book. I'm like, listen, you playing games with me right now. I don't want to hear somebody from another country. I want to hear you.
Playing games with my heart.
Oh, look at you. You're in your singing bag today.
Oh my gosh.
He
yeah.
said,
Well, I was sick for so long. When I recorded the audiobook, ¿sabes? I was enfermo por un mes.
Un mes enfermo. ¿Qué tú tenías?
Sí.
Gripe.
No sé. Ni sé. Pero fue tan triste para mí porque ahí estoy grabando mi voz por fin, and it's going to ser algo permanente, you know?
Para siempre.
And I'm sick forever in that recording.
You probably sound sexy as hell. We'll take it.
So.
Listen.
It gives a little more of like a huskiness to my voice.
There you go. Boom.
And I got better as the time went on, but there was like this thing that lasted for like a month. So you like were sick, and when you think you're over it, it's like a lingering cough. And
listen, a month. I'm just glad you're here today. If you were sick for a month.
Thank you.
Thank you for making it.
Thank you. No, yeah. Thankfully, it's been a month since I've been sick.
Okay, good. So you're back. That's why you're in your singing bag. He's like, listen, I'm out here promoting this book, but I'm trying to sing too.
Oh, I'm starting to do karaoke again. You know who's a great karaoke artist to sing karaoke songs of? Juan Gabriel.
Oh, did you watch the documentary? Please tell me you did.
No, I haven't.
Pero ven acá, David, are you crazy? Please. If you could do anything, do this.
Okay.
The way he documented his life.
Ooh.
And, you know, the way he owned, you know, his queer identity.
Yeah. And his pain.
In the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, when it was just not a thing in Mexico.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave that documentary just. I watched it twice, just so inspired.
Really?
I watched it alone, and then I watched it with my mom.
Wow. So I feel like you're like very like you're very you connect and you empathize a lot with the queer journey. Like I feel like you've empathized a lot with me and with a lot of other people you know.
Oh
in
no,
New York.
100%. I do.
What do you feel?
My husband says I feel like you're obsessed with gay men, but I just feel so connected and I feel so seen and I just feel so like, my best friend. We were prom king and queen together.
Oh wow.
He was gay. And it was just us. It was just us. It was just like we were like an unofficial couple. I knew it. Nobody else knew it, but we were just like, it's us against the world. Wow. And I think that's what molded me into having this alliance, with the queer community. Because I was just like, my first like real true bond was with a gay man.
Wow.
And he's still in my life till this day.
Wow.
We love each other, And I feel like ever since then, it's been everybody. It's been my career coach. It's been my physical therapist. It's been my nieces. It's been everyone. It's just, I'm just surrounded by the community and I love it and I support it. And I am a big advocate for anyone who is, marginalized or anyone tries to oppress. I am the one that's going to speak out for you. And that's why I feel like I'm so connected with the community. I'm going to speak out for you. I'm like, get back. Let me handle this. Let me handle this shit. I got you.
Thank you.
That's who I am.
That's beautiful. Wow.
And I thank you so much, for using your voice, not just to sing and entertain us, on American Idol, through all your singles. I was looking, I was like, wow, 8 albums, 24 singles, 21 videos.
My goodness.
But
that is a lot. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize I had that much.
You've been working.
Yeah.
But now through this book, you're using your voice in a different way and, you're helping us understand, self-acceptance, sometimes leaving things that no longer serve us in order to really be who we are. And I feel like, out of everything that you've done, this book, Devout, might be, what changes most lives.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And I guess that's something I'm grateful about the book is as you see, I get long-winded and sometimes I don't know how to get to my point that I'm trying to get across.
It's okay. We could have been here 2 hours because I'm the same way.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, good. But is, spending like 3 years to think about how you want to say something and then like you write it and you're like, you know what, I want to adjust that a little bit. Like I took a lot of time to make sure I said things in a way that I could get my points across. And even if I'm like, if I'm a space cadet, like my brain is always like, oh, wait, what were we talking about? Or like, where was I trying to get to with this point? Like to be able to spend hours and hours a day just refining to say like, if there's something I could leave people with, like if this is like the last message I could leave people with in my life, like that's like goes deep, I'm so proud of this book. And I do hope, I hope it's just like, I hope it's encouragement. I hope people feel supported. I hope people feel seen and that it gives them space to be themselves, whatever that means, whether it's in the queer or just in transitioning from life after religion or like people who are like my sister, people who are like my mom, or people like me, even like people who are like my dad. Like I believe that you don't have to, that there can be another opportunity for life to start again
100%.
And give it a second chance to anybody. And so I've seen that with everybody in my life. Even if with my dad, we had a complicated relationship with each other. It was like toxic, codependent. Both of us like were bad and we both were able to start again.
Fresh.
And so I just want to encourage it for people who just think their life is like over, like it can't get any better. It's like, you know what? You may have had a sucky life, but you can start again. And they may feel too broken to start over. But I hope that they can see through this book like you can do it, and it's beautiful, it's magical, and it's exciting to feel like you're being born again, to start life and see it with joy and excitement and with motivation for what it feels like for the first time.
Be your true self.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. The book is out now. Where can people pick up the book? If they're listening to this episode and they're like, nah, I need to know his whole life. Where can we get the book?
Oh my gosh.
Website,
they're like,
bookstore?
Man, we already feel like you said all your life, David.
No, you did not.
Well, I was just where was I? We were just at Barnes and Noble on 5th.
Did you autograph a couple of books and leave
I
them there?
autographed some.
You
I
left
went
them
into
there?
the store. It was there on the shelf, and I just opened them and signed them.
I love when authors do that, because then it's
Yeah.
like, then you're gonna post it and you're gonna tell people, go pick up your book. You might find one.
Yeah, they're Barnes and Noble on Fifth, and but you can get it on like you can get it on BarnesandNoble.com,
Amazon.
Amazon.
You know Amazon.
It's the
That's where the
audiobooks on
books are at.
Audible, and so yeah, just
Download, stream, get the ebook, pick up your hardcover.
Yeah, I think it's everywhere.
I need me a book. I need a book in hand.
Oh my gosh,
Like
yeah.
me, I like,
I need to get you
ebooks,
one.
but no, I mean, like, when I buy books, I like to buy an actual physical copy of the book. But I want to thank you so much for stopping by here today.
Thank you for having me.
No, for sure.
And it's just like honey when your love comes over me.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Come again.
Hey, gracias.